Good morning and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. Today is Thursday, March 16th, and I'm Cara Falco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. So glad you could join us today.
Absolutely. We're going to start off by checking the weather, and the wild swing pattern continues. As temperatures warm up pretty nicely starting today, you can expect a high out of around 57 degrees for the day today with a low right around 39, so already swinging 20 degrees in between. Taking a look at the forecast around the state this afternoon, it will be a few degrees cooler at the shoreline with temperatures between 52 and 54 degrees. Camden's going to be one of the warmest spots with a high of 58. No snow or rain on the way for today, just mainly sunny skies. Stick around for your St. Patrick's Day forecast coming up.
Much better than that wind we had earlier this week. That was
that
intense.
Brutal or
intense.
What? It was awful.
I thought for sure there was going to be a tree down in our yard.
I was I was walking the dog and I was like, I can't breathe.
Even the dog is probably like, no thanks.
Yeah, she was like, we're done here.
Let's see if we're done on those roadways. Don Smith has a check of the traffic. I have to say, dare I say it, it wasn't as bad this morning, but you know, it can always change.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I think a lot of folks are taking a 4-day weekend with St. Patrick's Day being tomorrow. I think that's just kind of reality. And or work from home today. You know, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We did that story last week where it's that's the majority of the folks going into the office or whatever job that you're doing. And then they usually take Monday and Friday either off for the work from home situation. But I think that's kind of playing into it just a little bit. Or maybe some are just playing hooky here. Going to take the day off with the nice weather. All right, friends. So we'll go over to the maps here this morning. We have this was new here. Just happened within the last couple of minutes as we came on the air. This is on eastbound 46, northbound 20. It's really 46 until you get past the merge here with the rest of 46, and then becomes 20 getting into Patterson. There is a crash being reported here this morning, but you can see it's really tuned up Route 20, getting all the way at 21, I should say, getting all the way up into the 4620 interchange. So a little bit of a heavy ride there. If you can stay with the Garden State Parkway, I think will be much better. And then we also have some road work setting up here north on the Parkway as we get out towards the Bergen Toll Plaza. 17 is still pretty busy here as well, both ways into Central Avenue and Rochelle Park. This is actually out by exit 161, I should say. Pardon me. That's north of the Bergen Toll Plaza. Eastbound Route 4 here in Hackensack, out by Hackensack Avenue is a little bit busy. 208 is still seeing some congestion getting into Goffle Road, but the rest of the Bergen County, the Parkway 17, 287, through Oakland and Passaic County, 202, we are clear. So is 80 through Fairfield, 46, we're fine. Even through the construction, a little brake check, but not terrible this morning. But it's really the northbound Parkway. We had an issue out by 149. That is now completely cleared, but as they say, done all the way back to 143. All the way to 280 across the Stickle Drawbridge. That's going to be heavy. And then westbound Route 24 is really getting hit hard. There is some road work, it looks like, setting up just as you go about a half mile or so before Columbia Turnpike and Florham Park. And we are backed up well east of the mall at Short Hills. So give yourself plenty of additional travel time there. Speaking of travel time, we go to the maps and we show you the George is about 40 on average there, about 45 at the Lincoln, still about a half an hour at the Holland Tunnel. And New Jersey Transit, we just have a little bit of a delay here on the coastline, about 15 minutes there through South Amboy. Signal issues. So all in all, not a terrible ride, as you said, Kristina, a little bit later as far as our volume is concerned, getting into the unofficial Irish holiday tomorrow. So ladies, send it back to you. Able to get a check of that Irish Riviera down the shore in our next report.
Thanks so much, Don.
Well, to our headlines today, and state lawmakers are mourning the loss of longtime state senator Ron Rice, who passed away yesterday at the age of 77. Newark Mayor Ross Baraka said Rice was, quote, a warrior and a diplomat while representing Newark in the Senate. Governor Murphy has ordered flags to fly at half-staff. Rice was the longest-serving African-American senator in state history, serving from 1986 until last August.
Certainly a trailblazer. Well, 2 Newark men are facing kidnapping charges after allegedly robbing a Cresskill home last September. Police say a 24-year-old James Lanier and Carlos Sanchez held the homeowner at gunpoint during that robbery and used a stolen car to get away. And the Deptford community has rallied to support a police officer and his family after he was wounded in a shooting last Friday. Officer Bobby Schisler was shot while chasing a suspect. A GoFundMe that's been started by his wife has already raised over $76,000.
$100,000.
Wow.
Really good to see the community, come together for something like that. Absolutely, and take care of him. A man has been accused of killing his parents inside their home in Hopewell Township. The suspect, Craig Williams, was arrested earlier this week after his parents were found by state troopers during a welfare check. Williams is being charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder.
A Palmyra man has been charged after allegedly hitting and killing a man during a hit and run in the parking lot of a Bristol Township McDonald's. District Attorney Matt Weintraub said the killing may have been sparked by a previous road rage incident. 45-year-old Daniel Stephen Dietrich is being held without bail. Just crazy, crazy story. According to a recent Monmouth University poll, trust in the political system has declined over the years.
And if we go back a decade or so ago, a majority clearly said it was an honorable thing to do. There were certainly a number of people who said it was a dirty business, about a third back then. But today, that number is basically even. 44% say it's an honorable thing to do, but 44% say it's a dirty business. That number has crept up.
According to the data, less than half of all Americans say getting into politics is an honorable thing to do.
Yeah, I feel like no one's surprised there.
No one's surprised. I don't think anybody's surprised anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's an unfortunate state of affairs.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of politics and politicians, Governor Phil Murphy has made several high-profile appearances in the national media recently. Plus, he's coming off a recent trip to Ukraine.
And joining us now to provide some insight is Micah Rasmussen, the director of the Rubovich Institute for New Jersey Politics at Rider University. Thanks for being with us again.
Good morning.
So can you tell us, why do you think we're seeing Governor Murphy kind of make these rounds on the national stage?
So I think this is a reflection that there is life after Drumthwacket. He intends to continue making a contribution once his term is up in 2025. And I think he's trying to figure out what that next contribution might be. He's not, it doesn't mean that he's looking ahead to the next job, but I think he wants to keep himself out there and set himself up, keep the brand burnished. I think he was thinking initially that there might be a presidential run on the cards, but now that it's looking like President Biden is going to run for re-election, that's off on the sidelines. Should there be a change, he can jump back in. But I think he's keeping his options open.
Was this something people in politics in New Jersey specifically were expecting to happen?
I think so. Going back to Woodrow Wilson, every New Jersey governor, I think, has been mentioned prominently as a potential presidential candidate someday. It doesn't often happen, but it has happened. Chris Christie was out there, and so Phil Murphy is out there. We're at the center of the media universe in New York, and I think it's probably not uncommon. Our governors have high profile. They're very powerful positions, and so he's out there for better or for worse. He's keeping himself out there, and should something come along, maybe it won't even be political. He's a big sports guy. Maybe a major league sports commissioner job will come up. We'll see what happens.
Interesting. So what impact would that have on the political scene here in New Jersey, or I guess what's kind of the expected outcome when he does leave office?
So if he leaves at the end of the full term, there'll be very little impact because he can't run again. He's term limited with 2 full terms, and he'll be reaching the end of his 2 full terms. But if he were to leave in the middle, let's say he were to run for president, let's say he were to be picked to be a cabinet official in a Biden second term, all speculative. But if those things happened, then we would have the lieutenant governor, which we created about 15 years ago, Sheila Oliver, would become the governor, and we would have an election with a non-incumbent. She might choose to run in 2025. She might not choose to run, but it would really turn the world upside down. The governor is the center of the political establishment and the political universe in New Jersey, and we look to them for everything that happens. And so it would leave a big void for sure.
Are there any other clues that we should be watching, the next steps to watch as we get closer to 2024 to kind of be like, yep, he's definitely running?
The biggest clue of all is going to be to see if President Biden gets in the race, announces that he's the candidate. If he does, the rest of the Democratic would-be field that's sort of waiting in the wings, and there are other governors like Governor Newsom from California. They're all going to be left out of luck if that's the case. So that's the biggest indicator I'm looking for is Biden declaring, and if he does, that's it. The rest of the field's out of luck.
Yeah, then they're done.
Wow. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. We'll keep an eye on it. Micah, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Very interesting. It'll be it's going to be a long couple of years.
Yeah.
Couple of months too.
Yeah.
Well, coming up, why a South Jersey congressman is holding a hearing on our state's offshore wind farms.
Plus, what our state is doing in the wake of the collapse of Silicon Valley banks.
And you can now watch the New Jersey Morning Show live on Roku. Just get the On New Jersey Roku app, then click Watch Live. It's free, no cable subscription is required. If you do miss the show, you can also watch it anytime on demand on Roku.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drum Thwacket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America Show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America Show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back. Let's get another look at our weather headlines, and we have milder weather on the way for both today and tomorrow, but some showers are expected late Friday into early Saturday morning. However, if you're headed out to New York City for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, the showers should hold off for the most part. It'll be mostly cloudy throughout the afternoon, and a quick sprinkle can't be ruled out towards the very end of the parade, but nothing soaking is expected. Temperatures will start out around 50 degrees when the parade kicks off, but it warms to 55 during the afternoon. And once tonight's showers clear out of the area Saturday morning, we should start to see some sunshine make an appearance in the afternoon with cooler temperatures around 51 degrees. Sunday is going to be much cooler, temperatures only into the 40s, but it will feel a few degrees colder still because of the breeze.
Oy.
And that wind has been brutal.
Yeah, it's been brutal, and there's a couple of St. Patrick's Day parades this weekend, so you definitely will need to bundle up for sure. Let's get another check of the traffic. Don Smith, how that commute is shaping up, Don.
Yeah, thanks, Kristina. Good morning, Cara. I like the glasses, Cara.
Thank
Very
you.
Sharp look. Maybe I'm biased to the glasses since first grade, but
oh, you got me beat. I started in second grade.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, not by much though. Yeah, I can't really see much past the tops of my eyelids. But anyway, so what we're seeing, ladies, is the midday road work setting up. You know, I think they're taking advantage of the forecast from Johnny Rocco there with the good weather. So let's go to the maps. I want to first show you on westbound 24. Last week, they were actually going down basically in the same direction. They were doing some guardrail work. Now, this is on the westbound side, and this is just before Columbia Turnpike. They're doing some kind of road work here. At this point, I think if there was an accident, it would have been reported already at this time, but it's not. This is definitely, I think, road work. For like 90% of it is going to be construction, because like I said, last week they were out there doing the eastbound side. But the problem is that the westbound side is backed up all the way to the mall at Short Hills. Now, what people are doing is getting off here on 124 and taking this on Main Street through Chatham. That's a tough ride, friends. That is a tough ride. Normally through this section of Chatham, it's always busy. Lots of traffic lights, lots of people coming in and out of the little shops and things like that. So just be mindful if you really want to do that. Now, again, I guess maybe I'm old enough to remember that this section of when this section of 24 wasn't even built, this was the only way you could get up towards 287. So give yourself probably at least another half an hour if you're going to use 24, or maybe if you're coming from the east here, Union, Irvington, stay with 280. Then we'll get you past all of that. Let's take a look at Central now. And 287, we're fine. Looks pretty good. Same thing on 78. We may have a little more road work here along 78 through Jugtown Mountain. That's exactly what that is. And for our next report, we will show you the camera in that location. Just let it kind of settle in for just a few minutes. What I also want to show you here is truck routes 1 and 9. The Hackensack River drawbridge was open and the upright position, if you want to call it, to let marine traffic through. So this is in Jersey City. So it's definitely a busy ride there until the drawbridge gets down in the lock position. So stay with the Skyway instead. Now we head into 18. Looks like they've got the road work setting up here in both directions out by Route 27 at this point. So still, again, lots of road work taking advantage of this good weather today. Parkway is clear. So is the Turnpike, Route 9, 33. Again, traffic really is going to be in good shape. And as I promised you, the Irish Riviera, it's been so nicknamed here, Belmar, Spring Lake, 7135. I'm sure it's going to be just crazy down here tomorrow, especially with the weather being good. Again, they had their parade about 2 weeks ago or so, but nonetheless, still going to be a busy place. Then all the way over to Trenton, we're in good shape on 195. Let's go to the trains. About 15 minutes there on the coastline. And speaking of time, still about 40 at the George Washington Bridge, about 45 at the Lincoln. That still has not eased out. And about a half an hour there at the Holland Tunnel. So all in all, again, definitely a busy ride here on this Thursday with this midday construction. You know, there's so many potholes around the state, ladies. It's just, you got to really watch where you're driving these days.
Oh,
and we didn't even know we didn't get a lot of snow. I think it's just the salt and the combination of going from 70 degrees to 20.
Exactly.
And just kind of missing.
It's pretty brutal.
This is up the roads.
Yeah. All right, Don, thanks so much. And he mentioned the shore. Speaking of the shore, New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew is holding a hearing on offshore wind development today. The hearing will focus on the recent uptick in whale and dolphin deaths off the Jersey shore and how offshore wind could have an impact on it. The hearing comes just days after Van Drew signed a congressional letter asking NOAA to look into a letter warning about the potential impact offshore wind could have.
Yeah, obviously it's heartbreaking to see those animals washing up, and it's important to find out why, what is causing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. The Port Authority commissioners will vote today on a proposed $12 million train station in Newark South Ward. Now, if approved, the project would provide NJ Transit access between the South Ward and Newark Airport.
Yes, definitely needed.
Much needed,
yes,
for sure.
They've been waiting a long time. And speaking of transit, NJ Transit officials have approved $19 million in annual funding for the Gateway Development Commission. That's the agency building the Gateway Rail Tunnel connecting New Jersey and Manhattan. You've heard about that, right? Well, the money will help the commission manage the tunnel's construction operations. It comes just a week after $700 million of funding was allocated to the project in the federal budget. So we're getting a little bit more money every single year.
Yeah, there we go. And that's always been the biggest issue with that project.
Who's going to pay for it?
Paying for it?
How are we going to do this? Yeah. So finally, we're getting our act together. Meantime, Governor Murphy has signed a law that will order the Turnpike Authority to notify customers that some of the toll discounts may not apply to New Jersey Easy Pass drivers. That notification would apply to tolls on crossing between New Jersey and New York, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. So that's now law. So they have to disclose whether or not you get that discount through Easy Pass, which is, it can be confusing. So
oh yeah, absolutely. And I think for a lot of folks, if you drive a company car, you need to be reimbursed in any way. I mean, you need to know what exactly you're paying.
What are you getting yourself into? Yeah. And it kind of determines maybe your route too. If you like you want to pay the extra amount of money to go to the GWB or not.
Right.
So yeah, definitely need more transparency.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Governor Murphy has also announced new measures to help New Jersey businesses that may have been impacted by the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Now, the programs will include a $20 million angel match program to help new businesses with startup costs and a $5 million entrepreneur support program to help entrepreneurs pay back their loans.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a hot mess right there, that whole situation.
Yes.
And it seems like a lot of banks are closing, not just Silicon Valley Bank, and it's a huge issue that trickles down to everybody.
Yeah.
So it's not just a California problem. It's just, it's an every person problem.
Absolutely. I mean, the world is so connected today that it can't just be a localized problem. It's gonna be
everybody. Yeah. Well, school choice advocates are pushing state lawmakers to offer more options for families to attend public charter schools. TJ Best of the NJ Public Charter Schools Association thinks that it's the best way to evenly distribute educational opportunities.
Well, even though the state has the best public schools in the nation, it's not evenly distributed throughout all of the municipalities. There are over 600 school districts in the state of New Jersey. and many of which don't serve all of the kids equally.
Best also says the environment allows parents to decide what school setting is the best for their child. So,
always important.
Always important.
But
you have final say.
I mean, and we've done stories on these poor parents, you know, waiting in line to just put an application in for their kids to these charter schools.
Yeah. So it can get very intense.
Yes,
so any little bit helps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coming up next, guys, there's a new show debuting on our channel on New Jersey tonight. Up next, we'll meet the host and tell you how you can talk to him.
Yeah. Plus, former Rutgers football star Eric LeGrand has a new venture. I'll tell you where he's lending his voice.
And you can always find us over on social media. Search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and click follow.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drumthwacket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Let's check your weather, and it's certainly a much better day today weather-wise. The winds have finally eased up. Everybody's hair is happy about this. Temperatures will warm nicely today into the 50s across the state under a mostly sunny sky. Expect highs of about 54 in Sussex, 57 in Newark, 57 for Trenton, and up to 58 in Camden. It'll be cooler along the shoreline, temperatures getting anywhere from 52 to 54 degrees. Looking at the temperature outlook for next week, temperatures are expected to moderate to near normal levels, which puts us in the low 50s. So stick around for that full 7-day forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Just a reminder, Monday is the first official day of spring.
Is it? Right.
Yeah.
So it's so funny. Ever since Mike explained to us that March 1st was I'm going to say it wrong.
I know. I can never say it.
Climatological spring.
There you go.
And then the 21st is meteorological spring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please just all pick one.
Just make it work. Just no more
I'm already thrown with the hour off. Just pick
no
one.
more snow. That's all we care about.
That's it.
That's it. We're done.
I'm done now.
Moving along. Speaking of which, John Smith has another check of the traffic for us. And are we moving along on this roadway, Don?
You know, it really just depends in certain spots, Kristina and Cara. And then when I come back after the traffic, I have a little postscript there to the story you guys did with the Easy Pass stuff. So we will go to the maps here. Let's go into South Jersey. And for the most part, we're looking really good here this morning along 295, you know, in that typical hotspot where 4255 come into play. Same thing along 73. We are fine. So really not a whole lot of action there. Walt Whitman has got a little bit of traffic here into South Philly, and I would imagine that could potentially be just a spot of construction. Again, there's a lot of midday road work setting up, and I think they're maybe a little behind in the last week or so with some of the weather as we've had. So they're going to get out and enjoy, if you want to call it that, enjoy this good weather for today. 295 down to the Delaware Memorial Bridge is fine. 55 through Vineland, Millville, Ocean City, Somers Point, to Route 9, the Parkway through Cape May, Wildwood. We're looking good. So is the AC Expressway. Everything through Stafford, Long Beach Island, Beach Haven is moving along fine. Parkway from Toms River through Asbury Park, Long Branch is good. Two hot spots to tell you about. Let's focus in first here in the New Brunswick area. We're getting word of a crash on the southbound side of 18 as you approach into Route 1 Also, there is road work here northbound, again, north on 18, just north of 27, just before the John Lynch Bridge. And that's been kind of an ongoing repair for the last couple of months, really. During the midday hours. We'll be there until about 3 o'clock. We also have some road work here. Let's check in actually with Western Jersey, Reddington, Brownsburg, 22-287. Things are fine. We go out to 78 now, and there's a couple spots of road work. The first is going westbound here, west of Route 22, just before the 78 toll bridge, and then eastbound through Jugtown Mountain. Things are going to be a little bit slow. So we go to the cameras on 78, and that is going to be here by Tunnel Road. And let's just take a look. Not really seeing any kind of a slow ride. It's really on the other side of the mountain. That's where some of that repair is going to be taking place. We go back to our maps. The other hot spot I need to have you avoid is this westbound side of 24 is really turning into a major, major problem because of road work going westbound here just before Columbia Turnpike and Florham Park. We have the left lane shut. At that point, there's still only just one lane getting by, and we are well back to the mall at Short Hills. Now, you could, if you wanted to, come through Chatham and Madison, but that's a bit of a tough ride. Lots of traffic lights and lots of folks going in and out of the small shops and so forth. So, again, it could be an option for you if you have to make your way in towards the Morristown area. But this westbound 24, this is probably going to run you well over a half an hour plus just to get past the mall at Short Hills. If there's a way you can take Kennedy Parkway, come up through the Livingston area over to Route 10, could be an option as well. And also, we're just getting word that the accident looks like it's cleared here on the westbound side of 46 here right at the 21 interchange, but still definitely a heavy ride. Still a heavy ride at the George Washington Bridge, 45 for the upper, 35 for the lower, 40 now at the Lincoln, 25 at the Holland, and still running about 15 minutes there on the coastline. So all in all, kind of par for the course there. But the Hudson River crossing seemed extraordinarily heavy here for this time of the morning. I think a lot of folks still trying to get into the city so they can take tomorrow off for St. Patrick's Day. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, a little footnote to the Easy Pass story is that this was years ago. I think it kind of got started with the MTA, or the actual New Jersey Turnpike, not offering a discount to New York drivers and New York truck drivers on the Turnpike coming out of the city, because they didn't have a New Jersey Easy Pass. So then what the MTA did is that they kind of stuck it to the Jersey drivers. So when you use the Verrazano and you use the Midtown Tunnel, you pay the full rate if you don't have a New York Easy Pass. A New York Easy Pass, right. Although they did make it, it did say that you could get a New York Easy Pass even though living in New Jersey, and I'm not quite sure how that makes any sense, but supposedly you can get one. And whether that's still the case right now, I don't know. But
you have any? I think you can get, because I know they have two separate websites, so you can probably go to the New York website and order the transponder.
That's what I have. Yeah, I never switched
I guess
it
if you're
over.
doing that much commute, if your commute is entirely in and out of the
New
city,
York,
that kind of makes sense. But
that's interesting. It's like eye for an eye, right?
Oh,
like,
why are we? We're like siblings, New York and New Jersey. Like everyone's got, everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna give you a noogie. I'm gonna.
Like, fine, I'm gonna get you back.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And it should just be one. It should just be one Easy Pass.
It should be one system.
Region,
I mean,
right?
Really.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, we share, teams here, so why not share Easy Pass?
At a minimum. Not even the football teams. I've said this for a long time.
Yeah.
New York City would come to a screeching halt if everybody from New Jersey stayed home one day.
100%.
So,
I agree.
Good luck with that.
True. This is true. Good luck with that. That's right. Exactly.
Thanks so much, Don.
All right,
we
Don.
appreciate it.
Sure.
So Newark officials have unveiled a new downtown monument to Harriet Tubman. The monument, which is called Shadow of a Face, is 25 feet tall and includes stories from Tubman's life and the history of Newark's African-American community. The monument replaces a Christopher Columbus statue. The square has also been renamed Harriet Tubman Square.
And some of those photos you saw, Miss Queen Latifah, and she actually voices part of the monument. You can actually, there's like 30-second, little snippets.
That you can play.
So she's the voice, which is so cool.
That's amazing.
And actually very fitting, too.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's really cool. So guess what? There's a new show coming to On New Jersey, and it premieres tonight. Common Ground with Bill Spadia is a live call-in show that features guests and callers from both sides of the aisle. Our Lisa Marie Falbo had a chance to chat with Bill about the new show.
Today I'm here with Bill Spadia, who is taking his show Common Ground to On New Jersey starting today at 4:30 p.m. Bill, we are so happy to have you on the platform. Tell us what Common Ground is.
Thanks, Lisa. It's great to be on this platform. We've been looking at expanding this show since we launched it just a short couple of months ago. And very simple, it's right in the title, Common Ground. It's finding common ground with this very diverse community that we've got across all political spectrums in New Jersey, looking for common sense solutions that everyone can wrap their heads around and say, this is how we fix New Jersey. And I'm finding there's such an appetite for this. When we launched our organization, Common Sense Club, in just a few short months, all of a sudden it was well over 50,000 members, then 60, then 80. Now we're at 105,000 members. So the show is really an extension of the message that I've been promoting through our different organizations, whether it's Elect Common Sense or Common Sense Club. And it's an extension of what I've been doing for the past 8 years on the morning show, 101.5, which is the largest audience in the state. And we said, let's take that and get into the afternoons and give people another opportunity to interact, offer their solutions, have their voices heard, and represent the real people that make up the fabric of this great state.
Who are some of the guests that you have on the show?
So we've had a great collection of some pretty important guests, folks that represent us in the legislature. Senator Ed Durr has been on the show, Assemblyman Christian Barranco, Assemblyman Antoine McClellan, and most recently we had former HUD Secretary Dr. Ben Carson come on the show. And it was exciting to talk to him. They actually reached out to us because of some of the stances that we've taken and some of the things that we're fighting for, like pushing back against the governor's wind plan and trying to help get us to a situation where we recognize all these whales are dying and what's the best foot forward for energy in New Jersey, the sex curriculum in our schools, the idea of this, what I call the media misinformation bill that was pushed and passed by most of the legislators that voted for it. We think because a lot of them simply did not read it. And I made a big case about this. And then Dr. Carson and his organization reached out and said, you know what, you're spot on with this. We need to educate more people. And Common Ground provides that platform. So whether you are a Republican, a Democrat, or an unaffiliated voter, the whole concept of Common Ground is forget about the political baggage of each party. This is about people. This is about giving teachers and cops and firefighters and bus drivers and Uber drivers and retail clerks and small business owners, moms and dads, and everyone in between an opportunity to say, this is how we can move forward together to fix New Jersey. So however you voted in the past election, doesn't matter. Who you support for president, doesn't matter. Everyone has common ground when it comes to our small businesses, the safety of our community, the empowerment of our teachers and our families to have the best education possible, making our communities safe, making sure that we have access to great medical care and affordable pricing and living in the Garden State. So all of these things transcend parties. And that was how we came up with the name Common Ground, that if you work hard enough, you can find that agreeable space with people. Even if you are on opposite sides of the last presidential election, you can find that common ground when it comes to public safety, our kids' education, and the rising cost of living in the Garden State.
Absolutely. I think we all have a lot more in common than we think we do, right?
Absolutely. Of course.
My last question to you is about the show. So I know that you were looking to expand. Why streaming? What was appealing about this platform on New Jersey?
So I've had a lot of experience in media. I had a show that aired on Fox Television for 7 years called Chasing News. That was a great platform, and the show was very successful in New York and North Jersey. And as you know, I'm on the radio every morning on 101.5 FM. And the nice thing about my morning show is we are starting to gain a lot of traction on the app. They estimate some 1 in 4 of my radio listeners are now on a streaming app, which is great. And that gave us the idea to say, let's not be locked into one market or another where the signals can go in and out, where people have so many choices on their media, whether it's a news show, et cetera. When you're streaming, it gives the audience two opportunities. One, they can listen anytime, anywhere, and that's critical. But two, they have the option of being live and interacting while I'm live, or save it for later. I mean, the rise of podcasting and more people getting their news from podcasts. Everyone's on their phone all the time. It seemed to be the smartest way to reach the maximum number of people. And equally important to the maximum number of people are reaching the right people. I find that with television news and with radio, a lot of platforms are overlooking young people, and it is critically important for political leaders, anyone that aspires to get a message across like I do, to say, hey, I've got some common sense solutions on how we fix New Jersey, and I want to reach the most number of people. And, young people are really impacted because they don't hear all the good news, because they're not watching television. They're not watching cable news. They're all streaming. They're all on podcasts. We, as leaders in the state, leaders in the conversation of common sense, need to go where the people are. And the people are streaming right now, and that's where we want to be. So that was how we came up with the idea. And we're thrilled to be partners with you guys.
Thanks, Bill. You can watch Common Ground, the New Jersey Morning Show, and so much more amazing Garden State content right here. Just head to ONNJ.com or get the On New Jersey app on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Back to you guys.
This is going to be interesting. I think that show's going to do very well here.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, former Rutgers football star Eric LeGrand is entering the world of podcasting himself with his A Cup of Believe podcast. The show will feature interviews with a variety of public figures like actor Bryan Cranston and World Cup star Carly Lloyd. LeGrand has recently expanded into several ventures, including his LeGrand Coffee House in Woodbridge and his own beer and whiskey. I took a ride down to the coffee house. It's nice.
I have yet to go. I really want to make a trip.
Very pretty, nice. It's obviously all accessible. And so it's very nice to be there because it's nice and airy, nice big open space.
It looked beautiful from the, when they did the launch.
Yeah, the coffee was pretty good.
I mean, he's doing so many great things.
He's got so
good
much.
on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very happy for him. Well, a new survey from Livability has ranked the best towns in the country to live in, and 4 New Jersey towns actually made the list. That's Morristown, Englewood, Fair Lawn, and Bergenfield. Morristown leads the way as the 30th best town. The survey looked at over 50 different factors, including local economy and infrastructure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that. I'm
No
down.
surprise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Piscataway officials have approved a design for a new ecological park on the corner of South Washington Avenue and Metlars Avenue. The park will feature a stream, a butterfly habitat, a 600-seat amphitheater, and a wildflower area. The project is currently in early planning stages, and no date has been set for the start of construction. Having gone to technically Rutgers, New Brunswick, but I lived on the Piscataway campus for 3 out of 4 years. That whole little area, it's always, it's been really pretty, and it's nice to drive through it. I'm glad to see them kind of do a little something.
I mean, that's going to be huge. An amphitheater and all the concessions and all that stuff. It's going to be really nice.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see.
Real nice to see.
Well, One All the Way is a new documentary that tells the story of how 3 New Jerseyans hit the road to look for the world's best hot Texas wiener.
We wanted to tell a very personal story that people could relate to. So that is, where these three gentlemen in their journey go in and take us through that ride as they're discovering for themselves, as they search for the world's greatest hot Texas wiener and rediscover what happened to their hometown of Patterson.
And by the way, One All the Way is how you order it, by the way. The movie is now available to stream on Apple TV and Google Play. Sounds good.
Yeah.
No onions for me, though.
No onions for you?
No.
I don't know.
Too much.
Too much?
Yeah, he even said he doesn't like
He
the
doesn't
onions
do
either.
it. I have to, I'm not like super familiar with what specifically a hot Texas wiener would be. I'm sitting here and I'm like, is that like an Italian hot dog?
Like that's spicy, a little spicy. Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, exactly. So you got to watch the movie, I guess.
Clearly, yes.
There you go. Up next, a surprise return to MTV's Jersey Shorecast. I'll tell you who's back in the Bear Buzz.
Oh boy! Plus, March Madness is underway. What local schools you can expect to see in the tournament.
You can now watch the New Jersey Morning Show live on Roku. Just get the On New Jersey Roku app, then click Watch Live. It's free. No cable subscription is required. If you do miss the show, you can also watch it anytime on demand on Roku.
You're watching On New Jersey, the Garden State source for news, talk, sports, and entertainment.
We have big news here for On New Jersey.
We have an amazing show tonight, as we always do.
We are here at the iconic Drum Thwacket in Princeton with First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Will audiences be expecting you to talk Real Housewives issues?
We're going to be discussing everything from working with small businesses to mental health initiatives.
Work has begun on the New Jersey Hall of Fame at American Dream Mall.
Here now to give us some more insight on the Giants' 5-1 start is Paul Patino. Paul, great to have you back on. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Yeah, you're going to come at us, we're going to come at you 10 times harder.
Watch the Italian America show every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on News 12 Plus and celebrate the best of Italian American culture. Each week, we will feature an exclusive interview with a prominent Italian American from around the country. You can watch the Italian America show on Optimum 61, Verizon 530, or stream live from anywhere on News12.plus. For more on Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America, visit osaya.org and follow along on social media.
Back to the New Jersey Morning Show. You know, St. Patrick's Day already upon us, and attendees at the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade may indeed have the luck of the Irish. Temperatures will be around 50 degrees when the parade kicks off at 11 a.m. tomorrow, but it'll warm up to 55 for the afternoon. It's perfect. While it will feel milder, it'll also be mostly cloudy. We do have some rain showers on the way tonight and into early Saturday morning, especially for the coastal region of the state. Temperatures will cool down to the low middle 40s for Sunday, but the breezy conditions will be back. However, we'll be back to the low 50s for the first half of next week with dry conditions. The start of official spring, I guess. Official spring.
Official.
Yeah.
All the spring starts have happened.
All of the spring is next week. Allegedly.
Yeah, supposedly. Don Smith has one last look at the morning commute for us, and that's also, I think, been a bit of a false start today, has it, Don?
Yes, just a little bit. Yeah, you know, you're not really expecting a whole lot out there at 9:45 on a Thursday, but we are seeing quite a number of things happening. A lot of it is midday road work, but a couple of incidents to report. Let's go to the maps because this just happened here. It's a missing manhole cover with emergency construction on Route 1 south at Forestal Road here in Plainsboro. So that literally within just the last couple of minutes came in here to the traffic center. Let's go to some of the cameras to see if we can see if they're able to dial in any of the construction here. Let's see if Scudder's Mill Road. No, that camera is out. Let's go back towards Ridge Road. See what the delay is. Don't really see much in the way of a backup, although somehow that has changed in the bright red column, but we'll keep an eye on that. Also at 18, as we mentioned to you before, southbound just before Route 1, that has now been cleared, and broken down vehicle on the turnpike. Local lanes, 95 locals there by 72 in Englewood. That's the approach to the George Washington Bridge. All right, so let's go to the maps here this morning. And north on 21 still. Now this is a new crash. There was the first crash we were dealing with on westbound 46 as you came into the whole 21 46 combo here. Looks like this is a new problem going north along Route 21 as you get into 46. East on 46 is all backed up there through Little Falls with the construction. Long-term repair, I should say. 17 both ways here at Central Avenue and Rochelle Park is busy. But 208, we finally settled things down here through the Glen Rock and Hawthorne areas. Other area of contention to watch out for is this westbound side of 24 till 3 o'clock this afternoon. This is going to be just before you get into Columbia Turnpike. You can see the delay gets all the way back here into the Chatham area, Short Hills, by the mall at Short Hills. You can maybe go with 124, but that's going to add some extra time. Probably almost, I wouldn't say as much as what this is, looking at about 30 minutes here plus. But again, there's a lot of traffic lights, people coming in and out of the stores and so forth. So again, just be careful there. You could get off here and go Kennedy Parkway on up towards Livingston and make your way up that way, up to Route 10 to try to do a workaround. Let's go to Western Jersey because we didn't really get a chance to go up towards Northwest Jersey here this morning. 206, 15, Sparta, looks good. Oak Ridge, Franklin, Hamburg, again, 78, 80, I should say, 46 is fine. 78 also in pretty good shape, though the toll bridge, the 78 toll bridge, has a little bit of repair there as well. Some of this could be roving construction because the eastbound side here through exit 11, that delay is gone. So there's a lot of potholes out there, and there's been many crews doing their work here on the state highways, county roadways, and so forth. Turnpike Parkway, Union County looks pretty good as well. Let's just widen it up and show you here. Central Jersey is fine on the major highways, 195, Route 9, the Parkway, the Turnpike, all the way down Jersey. Again, we are clean and green. We go to the Hudson River crossings. We're down a little bit at the George Washington Bridge, about 35 for the upper, 30 for the lower. Still 40 at the Lincoln, about a half an hour at the Holland Tunnel and New Jersey Transit. Still about 15 minutes on the coastline. Path is on or close to schedule. So fairly busy, as it always is here, pretty much 24/7 around the state. I can't seem to avoid it, but at this point, some of it is just some of this midday road work that is out there till about 2 and 3 o'clock. I think they're taking advantage of the good weather, as you ladies mentioned just a few minutes ago. So again, another busy day here on a Thursday. Drive safe, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Don.
Time now for the Bear Buzz. And earlier this week, the governor announced this summer New Jersey will host its first ever North to Shore Festival with more than 100 events and acts planned in 3 different cities: Atlantic City, Asbury Park, and Newark. Some of the music headliners, including some New Jersey natives, have been announced so far as Halsey, she's from Edison, Demi Lovato, the B-52s, the Smithereens, of course, from New Jersey with Marshall Crenshaw, Alanis Morissette, just to name a few. More acts will be added as we get closer to the festival, including some comedians as well. Well, speaking of the shore, MTV's Sammy Sweetheart Giancola has reunited with her castmates to film Jersey Shore Family Vacation after being a decade away. Both the reality star and the series revealed the news on Instagram, posting behind-the-scenes photos of her taping her confessionals. Ooh, sources told TMZ even the cast didn't know she was coming back, so it was all very secretive. Meantime, production on the Rick and Michonne Grimes The Walking Dead spin-off series has officially begun here in New Jersey. The 6-episode limited series will film over the next several months and will air in 2024. Now, East Rutherford is the main base for filming, but the crew was recently spotted at the Rahway train station and in Eatontown at the Monmouth Mall that JCPenney they've been using. It closed down last year, so that's been sort of some of the film areas. Can you imagine
see those vacant spaces being put to use?
Right? You see maybe a zombie eating lunch in the, in the little area where there's, pretzels and stuff like that.
Wild.
Just a zombie on my lunch break.
Sure,
it's all good.
it's fine.
I'm very excited. I mean, the fact that they're filming all in New Jersey is kind of huge.
That's very cool, though. That's very cool.
Even if you don't like the show, it's very nice to see.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so from entertainment to sports, from the New York Jets to Princeton basketball, it's another busy day in sports, and our own Chris Sakonis has the latest.
The Aaron Rodgers saga continues for the New York Jets. Star quarterback told the Pat McAfee show yesterday that he wants to come to New York if the Jets can agree on a trade with the Packers. The Jets have already made some moves this offseason, including signing free agent wide receiver Alan Lazard from the Packers. The Jets have not commented publicly on what they're willing to give up for Rodgers. Over to the NCAA tournament now, where Fairleigh Dickinson advanced to the first round with an 84-61 win over Texas Southern in the first 4 last night. Knights were led by a 23-point outing from Ansley Almanor, while Joe Munden had 17 points. Up next for FDU, the 1 seed and Big Ten champions, the Purdue Boilermakers, tomorrow. And Princeton will tip off in the NCAA tournament later on today, taking on the 2 seed Arizona in Sacramento at 4:10. Tigers are back in the tournament for the first time since 2017, earning their spot in the Big Dance by winning the Ivy League title over Yale last weekend. An upset over the Wildcats today would be their first tournament win since 1998. For On New Jersey, I'm Chris Sakonis.
And that does it for us today on the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Kristina Behr. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.